What's up, guys? Welcome back to Keither.net's E-mini S&P 500 Index Futures Daily Chart Review. Today, we're going to be looking back on the action today, September 23rd, 2014. And to do so, I like to look at the yesterday's close and the overnight and see what it did. So let's go to our 5-minute chart here, 5-minute candlestick chart. And this is the overnight here. So let's see what happened. We went sideways, sideways. We broke out, but we didn't really get anywhere. We broke out and we kind of went sideways again. So let's just continue on here. And now here we broke down below the 21 EMA around 1 a.m. It's a little early. If you watch the overnight session, a lot of the times you'll see a breakout around 3 a.m. So 1 a.m. is kind of early to break out. So let's see what it does. Okay, now 2 a.m. it really took off. I would consider that an actual a break away from going sideways and staying on the 21 EMA. So let's see what it does. Okay, from 2 a.m. until now we are at 3 a.m. For that hour, it really dropped off. And we'll continue. Try to get to the open here so we can see what happened. So we definitely have a trend down here. We broke down, we pulled back, we broke down, we pulled back. And right here we're in the 21 EMA, and this could be a trade for overnight. It's 5 a.m., you got a few hours before the open, and you could take this trade if it gives you the opportunity. So there is a signal bar right there, and there was an entry bar, but it did not work out. And I'm not looking to trade this for the purpose of this video, I'm just talking here. And let's see here. So that would have given you a point there, but you would have had to sit through all of this, and I don't really want to do that. So that's not a good trade, especially overnight where it's slower and you really have to wait. We pulled back to the 21 EMA, and now we have a signal bar, and it pulled back and went sideways. So we're at 7 a.m. here. We're just going to get to the open here and see what happens. Okay, so that's the open right there. We saw the first two candles there, but that's okay. So we went sideways, we broke down, and essentially this is sideways action right here. It's a little bit of a channel. Here's the bottom, here's the top area. So it just kind of bounced around sideways right there. All right, now let's go to our tick chart. Well, I guess I should say first, as I said, it went sideways, broke down. It's really hard to say what would happen here. I'm going to say that because we were all the way up here and we had this massive, well, not massive, this big breakdown here and went sideways, I would say that we actually do come up a little ways and recover some of this. Because a lot of the times when a big move happens overnight, we try to retrace that in the open, the regular hours. I don't know why, but I've just, from experience and seeing it, I've noticed that. It's as if the overnight didn't count, you know. We came all the way down here, so now we got to trade that during the regular hours. So anyways, let's go to our tick chart, which I like to use to trade. It's a 2000 tick chart. And I'm not going to go over it again, but as you can see, it's very similar to the 5-minute. It broke down, went sideways. So here we are at the open, and we're going to begin our trade review, bar by bar. All right, so we're going to go ahead here. We got the first two bars here, and we're just going to go forward until we get some plays here. Okay, we broke above the 21 EMA. It's still early. We're looking for some kind of actual movement and trend here. Okay, and we did get a nice move here. I don't like to play it. I don't like to play right at the open because it's so erratic. But we did break up. We pulled back to 21 EMA. We took off again. And we got this sideways action. If I was trading this live during the day, I may take this, be a little more aggressive. But again, I'm trying to stick to the 21 EMA strategy. The reason why I might have taken it is because, as I said, we came up, we pulled back, we went up, and then we went sideways. This right here is basically telling you that it's probably going to continue because this move was never completed. It went up and it went sideways, and then look here, it did go. So let's see what happens. At this point, we're looking for a pullback to the 21 EMA, and we did not get it. It came close here. Again, if you want to be a little more aggressive, you could say, okay, that was it. But it didn't really trend down to it, so I'm not going to take that trade. And here we are. We're at the 21 EMA. So let's see what it does at the 21 EMA. Okay, I got another candle there. Got some sideways action here. Okay. So this would actually be our signal bar, and this would have been our entry bar. I missed it there. I went forward. So for the purpose of this video being real, let's go ahead and say anything above 86 even. So 86.25 will go long. Okay, and we did get knocked in 86.25. We're at 87 even. We need one more tick for this to be a successful trade. And we definitely got it there. So 86.25 off of this little play right here back to the 21 EMA. And we are right now at 87.75. So we definitely got our point. That was a successful trade right there. And you could have actually grabbed a few more ticks if you wanted to stay in it. And one other thing to note is we trended up, we pulled back, and now we broke this high right here. But if you want to draw in a price level here, let's look back into yesterday. This was a very powerful level. We saw it play here. It came down below it. It came up and played it here. It came back up and it broke above it, but look at this. It came right back and it played around here. And then we hit it again and again and again. So I would not jump all in thinking this is a breakout that's going to go higher, because it hit this and resisted it so many times. Now, the theory is that the more it hits it, the more likely it's going to break through it. But it also means that the more it hits it and it rejects it, it shows that it has some sort of strength. So in my opinion, really, when you see all these hits, you shouldn't assume that, okay, it's weakening it and it's going to break through it. I think it's a time to watch and be cautious and look for some type of move, because eventually it's going to break through or it's going to reject it big time. So let's see what happens. Okay, and we came back down the 21 EMA, and we actually broke through it, but let's see if it pulls back. And it didn't. It went right down. And it actually played this level here. Now, I just pointed out this level as a top that's showing a lot of resistance. Well, guess what? This was from yesterday. This was our channel line that we drew in if you go back and watch yesterday's video. So we channeled along here for quite a while going sideways. And now look, we came back and hit it. So the first thing I'm going to be thinking is, okay, will it continue to play this as a channel again? It came up, it hit it, it did not come back and touch it. So this is our first touch on the bottom line. Let's see what it does. Let's see how it reacts to these levels. Okay, and it broke down through it. Now this is perfect because we tested this level and we went through it. Now we want to see the market come back up and try to break back into this channel. We want to test this level. But the beautiful thing is, for all traders, is that this 21 EMA is not too far above this level here. So ideally, it breaks through this and touches the 21 EMA, and we'll look to go short. And look at that, look at that. It came back and it tested it right here with two candles, and it immediately rejected it. And then it tried again, and look at this. It's not perfect, but one tick and this candle would have been up into the 21 EMA. So I'm going to take this as a signal bar right here, secondarily, because look here, we have a double bottom here. We have this one and this one. So right now, it's either going to reject it and go higher, or it's going to continue to go through. And as I said earlier, over here where this sideways action showed us that it could continue higher, look at this. We have a double top here. It's not perfect, but it's a double top. And again, it's this strong resistant level. So 1, 2, we came down, we tried to pull back, we came down, and now we're going sideways and we pulled back to the 21 EMA. So this is telling me that we're going to go lower. It just looks beautiful to go lower. And really, our next stop is 1980. 25. So we have all this room to come down right here for a nice little trade. So anything below 1982, so 1981.75, we're going to look to go short here. Okay, and we pulled back up and we're at the 21 EMA. So this trade is no longer valid. If it does go short, we're going to look for a better entry now that we're up here. So let's just continue here and see what happens. Okay. Now, this is a little bit of a tricky level because, again, we're at the 21 EMA and we're at this level here. So this would be a signal bar, and this would be an entry bar, but I'm going to give it one more candle to see if it breaks below this level. And it definitely does. And look, we're right back here again. So I'm going to go ahead and re-enter that trade at 81.75. Anything below 1982, we're going to go short here. And look at that. It rejected it with almost an identical candle. And then it went to the 21 EMA again, and we went here. So basically what you can take away right here is this is just sideways. We're really waiting for a breakdown or a break up. I think it's going to go lower, so I'm going to continue to say 1981.75. We're going to go short here. And there we're in. This is not a perfect candle. I'm going to give it one more candle before I enter, because we did break this level I'm looking at, the 1981.75, but this candle is a doji, and it's really just showing indecision. So let's see what it does here so we don't get chopped up in the trade. Okay, there we go. So now we're going to move our stop down to 1981 even. 1981 even, we're going to go short here. And we can easily write it down to this level, 1980.25, and I guarantee it'll peak down below it if it goes. So this should be a point right here in our trade if it goes that way. So 1981 even, we're going to go short. And there we go. We're in our trade. 1981 even. We're looking for 1980 even for 1 point. And look at that. That was perfect. As I said, I figured it would break down below it and pierce it, and it did. It actually gave us 2 extra ticks. For our purposes, we'd have our stops in to sell short and buy back for 1 point. So we got our 1 point. That's 2 successful trades on the day, and you could have got a couple extra ticks if you were letting it move a little bit more. So let's see what it does. One thing to point out here is this overnight low area here. There was a lot of congestion around this area, and then it did peak down and touch this resistance level. So we're really watching this level, and we're watching for a break of this level here at 1977.75. And it is only 10 a.m. at this point. So let's see what happens. Beautiful. We're pulling back to the 21 EMA. We got this nice doji right here. Preferably it would come up in here, but we're going to watch this closely since we have the doji and we have this level here that we know it's going to break eventually if it goes down. And we have this next stop here. So this whole area here is a free fall area. If it breaks down below here, we know it's probably going to go down and touch here, at least get caught up in this congestion here. So let's see how this plays out. Okay, we got a massive white candle there. Let's see what it does. And we touched this level here, which was the bottom of our channel. So that's another great resistance point. And I'm going to try to draw a quick trend line here just to check something out. We got a little bit of this action going on here. It's not perfect here, but this covers most of these top 3 candles. We hit it here, and now we're hitting it here with this resistant level here at 1983.75. So let's see how it reacts to this level. And look at that. We're actually going to go ahead and use this as an entry candle. This is a signal candle. We're looking for an entry candle, and that would be at 1981.75. And we'll go short, and we should definitely be able to get a point here. We'll expect it to come back down here and test this level, which is 1980.25. So we'd go 1981.75, looking for it to come back down here. Let's see what happens. And we're in this trade right here, 1981.75. And we're having a little bit of pullback here. Okay, we're not quite knocked out of this trade. And there we are. We did get knocked out of this trade. So we have 2 successful trades and 1 failed trade today. It did pull back. Whatever your stop is, that's going to be your decision. But I would not hold on to this. I usually have a 1 point stop. And sometimes I'll give it 2 points if it's a strong signal that we're going to continue lower or higher eventually. Redraw its channel. So look at this. We got this here. We may look for this reverse once again, but let's see what happens. It really took off there and broke out. So now we're just waiting for some movement here to give us a sign of direction. We broke above the 21 EMA. We kind of flagged back here. Could do a a trend line right there to show that we flagged back down. We're testing the 21 EMA, and we're really coming back down to this level now. So we broke out of this top level here, and now we're testing it. Let's see how it reacts. Okay, so this is going to be now I'm going to stick to the strategy. This would be a signal bar because we came down, we tested this level, and now we're breaking back up. But we are looking for the 21 EMA. I almost got off my strategy there, but we're going to stick to it. We're looking for 21 EMA pullbacks. And there we go. Now we got it. So we hit it. This is going to be our signal bar. Anything below 1981, so 1980.75, we're going to go short in this. So basically what I'm looking at here, we did break out and we tested this level. We pulled back to the 21 EMA. And now we broke this low here. So it looks like we may break back into this area. And again, this is pretty much a free fall from 1981 all the way down to here, if it goes that way. So as I said, 1980.75, we're going to go short here. And we're in at 1980.75. We're one tick away from our 1 point right there. And we hit it. So 1980.75 all the way down to 1979.75. We got our 1 point right there. Now that's the beautiful thing about the 1 point strategy. You're not in the market long, and a lot of these moves, when they move, they're going to move at least a point. So you just continually up your contract size, and you keep getting 1 point. Eventually, you're going to make your money and have successful trades and minimize your risk. So let's go ahead and see what happens at this area. We got our points, but we're going to see what happens. And look at that. We're back in. We're coming back into this channel, and we're probably going to come down to here and test it. And there we go. Look at that. We're right back there. Now, this is where it's going to be a lot of personal preference. Again, I came up here. I came down and got my 1 point. I'm satisfied with that. I've learned over time that if you get greedy or you try to catch the whole move, most of the time you're just going to end up hurting yourself. So I'm more than comfortable with my 1 point and start looking to look for my next 1 point move. But if you want to be more aggressive, there's more than a point there, obviously. And we knew it was going to come back down this level. We've been looking at that since here. We looked for it to break down and come back and test it. So anyways, that's 3 successful trades on the day, 1 failed trade, and it is 12:15 p.m. Let's see what it does. We're looking for a pullback to the 21 EMA at this point. And there we have it. So we're looking to go short, and hopefully with the momentum of the market behind us, we'll test this and break through it. Because we hit it once, we pulled back. Let's see if it'll go through this level here at 1977.75. And it broke back up, but let's see what it does here. It's testing this previous level here. Okay, we're back down, looking for a solid entry bar. This is technically an entry bar, but we're on the top side of the 21 EMA. So we're going to wait and see if it breaks back through. And it did. So anything below 1979.50, so 1979.25, we're going to go short in this again and hopefully come back to this level, preferably break it and continue downward. So 1979.25, we're going to go short. And we're definitely into that trade there, 1979.25. Okay, let's see what it does. And look at that, that's beautiful. It came all the way back down to this level and it actually pierced it and went below this low. So we definitely got our point on there. That's 4 successful trades on the day, 1 failed trade. I'm happy with my one point, but you definitely could have got more than a point, maybe a couple points there. 1979.25. Yep, at least 2 points you could have gotten there if you wanted to stay in it. But let's see what it does. Okay, my chart's a little messed up here. It's kind of not showing me where it's at. But okay, we do have a signal bar here. So anything below 1977.25, so 1977, we're going to go short. And look at that, it rejected it right away. As you can see here, these candles, the bottoms are exactly the same, and they're actually identical candles. So I'm going to take off my potential trade rate for now, because this is a reversal. This did exactly the opposite of what it did here. You can see the red candle down, the white candle up. They are identical. So let's see what it's going to do here. And it pulled back up into 21 EMA. And this candle shows a lot of indecision. So we're still thinking short, but we're still going to wait and see. Okay, and it came back down and it tested. We're just going sideways here. Shrink my chart a little bit here. Okay, so now that I did that, we're definitely going sideways, but look at this. We're also kind of flagging out. We came down, we're trending up, and we're flagging out. So at this point, I'm going to say, okay, we hit the 21 EMA. This was actually our signal bar, and this was actually our entry bar. But due to the dojis, they're all three pretty much dojis, showing a lot of indecision. I'm going to wait for the break of this flag. So let's see what happens. Okay, now that's a more powerful candle. It's still a little bit of a doji, but the trading range back and forth is a lot wider. So look at the time here. It's 1:18 p.m. We definitely have more time to trade here. So I'm going to use this as a signal bar. And anything below 1976.75, we're going to go short. And look at this. This is also the low here, here, and now here. So we're going to go short at 1976.50 if we get the trade. And we did right there. So 1976.50, we're in. We're looking for 1 point. And look at that. We got it right there on that first bar. We went past 1975.50. Well, maybe we're right at it. My chart, again, is kind of messed up here. Okay, so we got it exactly. That's exactly 1 point for our trade. That's 5 successful trades and 1 loser today. Awesome day. Awesome action going on here. Let's see what it does. It is 1:23 p.m. And we're pulling back to the 21 EMA once again. So I have 5 successful trades on the day, 1 loser. I can either say I'm quitting for the day, or I can go ahead and say, hey, I can be a little more aggressive. I'm going to be a little bit more aggressive and say this is a signal bar. So let's look for an entry bar. Anything below 1976.75, so 1976.50, we would go short here. And we actually got knocked into the trade here, but look what it did. This candle is not very good for the downside. But let's see. Since we're being more aggressive here, we have 5 good trades. 1976.50, we are in this trade. Let's see what it does. 1976.50, and look at that. We got our point right there, 1975.50. So I was being a little more aggressive. I wasn't confident in this with this candle that it threw here, but it still worked out. Now we got our 1 point, so that's 6 successful trades on the day and 1 loser. And I probably shouldn't have taken that trade. I don't know what's going to happen. I have not looked at the chart yet, but that candle kind of spooked me a little bit. And now look at this. This low right here, we got a double bottom here between this candle and this candle. So let's see what it does. It could continue lower. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Okay, it bounced back, and now we got a red candle. And see, look at that, guys. That is beautiful. This is the kind of stuff that you need to learn and look for. As I said, I was being more aggressive on this one, and I got lucky, and I got my 1 point. But I also saw this candle that shows a lot of indecision, that it doesn't want to go back down. But it did go back down, and it tested the low with a double bottom. And now look at that. It rejected it. And now it's back up to this level here, this trend line. So let's see what happens. And we came back down a little bit, and we tested the bottom of that level, which is the actual top of this channel. And what time is it? It's 2 o'clock. We have about an hour of trading left. Let's see what it's doing. Okay, it actually looks like we are headed up here. So let's look for a pullback to the 21 EMA. But it is 2:30. I am done trading for the day, but let's just play around here. So it came back, it touched it. This would be our signal bar. So I'm not taking the trade, but if we did, it'd be 1980.75. We'd want to go long here. And we're in the trade, so let's see if it gives us a point. And it did not. Look at that. 1980.75. We only got 1 tick on that. And this is why I don't try not to play the last hour or last half hour of the market, because it gets really, really choppy with people either buying for the day and holding overnight, or they're selling off for the day and they're trying to go flat for the day. So we did not take that trade, but it was a signal. But it rejected it. And now we're back down here. We're pretty much going sideways here. Let's get to the end of the day. And look at that. It actually did come down and test this double bottom, and it broke through it. Kind of to end the day there. Gotta shrink my chart. And look at that. It definitely broke down. It broke away. There's no real trade here as far as the 21 EMA goes, unless you want to play this candle. But I like a trend down and then a trend up. But it's 3 o'clock. The market is closed. And there we go. It's definitely closed for the day. So that's it, guys. 6 successful trades, 1 loser. That is a great day of action. It only really trended one way, but there was definitely a trend. This was a channel, but it was trending down. It tested it to break out, and then it went right back into another downtrend. And it wasn't until here until we would have been confused again when it tried to break out. But then even then, it broke back down. So I feel like that was a great video because we got to see a lot of different things. You got to see what I was seeing, when I would stop, when I'd be cautious. That's a great video for learning right there if you want to watch that. And, you know, 6 successful trades, 1 loser. That's not a bad day. If you have 1 point per trade, that's 6 points you took out of the market minus the 1. So 5 points for the day. Depending on your contract size, that's a pretty good day. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll be back tomorrow for another chart review.